The $600 tax nightmare is officially over. For years, we have been hearing that the IRS was going to start tracking every small Venmo payment and Etsy sale. People were panicking about getting tax forms for selling an old couch or a used bike. But Congress just passed a massive law called the One Big Beautiful Bill, and it completely changes the math for 2025 and 2026.
It is a huge relief for millions of people. This new law, signed in July 2025, basically hits the reset button on those scary reporting rules. If you have a side hustle or sell things online, the threshold for when you actually get a form in the mail just jumped significantly. We are moving away from that tiny $600 limit and going back to much higher numbers.
Comment apps if you use Venmo or PayPal for your business. I'm going to explain why your 2025 tax season just got a whole lot easier.
Let's start with the 1099K. That is the form you get from payment apps like PayPal, Cash App, or marketplaces like eBay. For the 2025 tax year, the One Big Beautiful Bill retroactively restored the old threshold. That means you won't receive a 1099K unless you hit $20,000 in sales and have over 200 transactions.
Wait, so that confusing $600 rule is just gone? I saw people on Reddit asking if they should stop selling on Amazon Vine or Etsy because they didn't want to deal with the paperwork for a few $100.
Exactly. Those users can breathe a sigh of relief. According to IRS news release IR-2026-06, the threshold for these apps is back to pre-2021 levels. However, you need to be careful with 1099 NEC and 1099 MISC forms. Those are the forms businesses send to independent contractors. For 2025, that threshold is still $600, but starting in 2026, it jumps up to $2,000.
So if I'm a freelancer, I still get a form for $600 this year, but next year I won't unless I make $2,000 from a single client?
Correct. The IRS is trying to reduce the mountain of paperwork for small payments. According to the 2026 draft of Publication 1099, that $2,000 limit for contractors will even be adjusted for inflation starting in 2027. This is a permanent change from the One Big Beautiful Bill that aims to keep the IRS focused on bigger fish rather than someone making a few bucks on the side.
Poll. Did you make more or less than $2,000 in side gig income last year? A, more, B, less. Comment your answer. The result determines if you even get a form in 2026.
Let's look at a quick example for 2026. Imagine a weekend Uber driver who earns $1,800 for the entire year. Since $1,800 is less than the new $2,000 threshold, Uber will not be required to send a 1099 NEC to the driver or the IRS.
That sounds great for the driver, but does that mean the money is tax-free?
Definitely not. This is a common mistake. Just because you don't get a form doesn't mean you don't owe the tax. The IRS is very clear in Publication 17, you must report all income, even if it is just $1. The form is just a tattletale document. If there is no form, the IRS doesn't see the income automatically, but you are still legally required to track it on your Schedule C.
So the paperwork is less, but the law is the same. What should people be doing right now to stay safe?
Step 1, don't wait for a 1099 to show up in the mail. Keep your own log of every dollar coming in. Step 2, if you are an independent contractor, realize that the $600 rule still applies to the 2025 taxes you are filing right now. Step 3, use the IRS website to check the new Form 1099 instructions for 2026.
Send this to one person who sells on Etsy or eBay. They're probably still panicking about the old $600 rule. Tell them it's gone.
I'm an educator, not your CPA or tax advisor. This is general information based on IRS publications, not personalized advice. Tax situations vary. Always consult a qualified tax professional about your specific circumstances before making decisions.